Okay, so I got the tools rounded up here that are needed to let the mainsprings down so the movement can be disassembled. And here's the movement removed out of the case. I didn't show this because it's pretty simple. You just remove the screws from these feet that hold the movement to the backboard, and it simply lifts up. I had to sort of withdraw it slightly because the hammer arm was routed underneath the gong inside. And if we turn the movement over, we can see the clutch, which sets the which is the friction for the setting the hands there. And it's there, you can see it there. That three-pronged washer, that's the friction clutch. And it's just totally loose. It shouldn't be that easy to move. That's what allows you to set the time on the hands, and then also drives the hands at the same time, is that clutch. So I've got two sets of these. I'm only showing you one set to give you an idea of what these look like when you buy them, if you're new to this. And I use the second to largest size retainers in the set. Don't use the rest. Got a little screwdriver here that'll be needed to pry the spring on the clicks back. And I've got the let-down handle and let-down key, and these are double-ended keys. A 6 and a 5. The size 6 winding key is what this movement uses, and of course the 6 on this fits there real nice on the time side, and fits a little snug on the strike, but we'll live with it. The first thing to do is going to be to get the clamp around the spring. And to do that requires just a little bit of fishing to get it around. The main spring is wound up sufficiently, I think, that all I should have to do is, as you can see, slip clamp around it like so. Then turn the movement back over. And then this becomes a two-handed operation, really, with one hand on the let-down key to control the mainspring, and the other hand to hold the retainer centered on the spring so that the spring is retained. So at this point I might have to try to devise some means of holding the camera, which I did not anticipate and should have. We'll figure this out. Okay. You're gonna be able to see what's going on here. Getting some props devised up there to hold the... Okay. So what's going to happen here is there is a spring that retains the winding click against the ratchet, and that's what gives you the click, click, click sound when you wind a clock. As you can see, it's not very visible in this shot. If I rotate this, you can hear the click going click, click, click. Okay. The easiest thing to do in this position is I have the tail of the click right here. Okay. I can do this without a tool. Release the tail of the click from there. So when I go to apply power on this in the direction of winding, the click is going to release and there's nothing going to snap it back, and I'll have to hold on to this and let the spring unwind. So here we go. Try to get this positioned where you can see what's going on. So I'm going to hold the clamp in position here, and I'm going to turn this. Alright, now you don't hear any clicking, right? So now I'm controlling the spring as it unwinds, letting this handle slip through my hand. Okay. Alright, take this off. You hear there's no ticking now. See, it's let down. Now the spring is bound by the clamp. Now we're going to do this on the strike side too. And since there is no power there anymore, we can get ahead and get rid of that. Set it out to the side. Turn the movement over. Move that out of the way. Get the binding clamp back into position over here. Okay, just like that. Set the movement back on its mounting feet. Okay, and can we see there's where the click is at? And it's going to be easiest thing to do is going to be just like what was done in the last video. I picked these up at a pawn shop for $2 each. These are stainless steel tweezers. And I've played with them a little bit, but this will be the first time I've used them. There we go. Just like that. Made that easy. Okay. Said nothing's going to happen because that spring isn't actually really doing any work right now. It's the shape of the click and the teeth of the ratchet that are doing all the work of keeping it secured. Yeah, this is the most exciting view in the world, isn't it? Get this to where it's in a comfortable position to hold it and that. And time side, you wind it the correct direction here. Spin this around. Okay, there we go. Make sure I'm holding everything in the right spot. Bam! Just like that. As I said, it fits kind of tight, so it didn't want to come off. A little close to the edge, but the spring is fully retained. I could push it down just a little bit there, like that. This has little studs right there that prevent the spring as it's unwinding from coming in contact with other parts of the movement. It's important to have the clamps in a position where they're not going to get caught on those items. So with that done, don't see any nuts on this side of the movement that have to be loosened. As you can see, both trains are totally dead now. The springs are retained. Got just a little bit of residual tension there. There we go. Just enough friction Okay, it's trying to go this way now. Totally unarmed. Alright, next video we'll take the movement apart.